Alright, so it looks like there could be more serious change going on in Cleveland with the Browns, man. Todd Monken and Andrew Berry got some tough decisions to make. This is going to affect both sides of the ball cause this is a really good player for this team. We got to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. We have to get right into things. This is courtesy of Heavy.com. Okay. And they're talking about this Grant Delpit situation, and Grant Delpit is due. He's up for an extension and, many people don't know if the Browns are going to do it or not, but it looks like they may be. It says that it is a matter of when they do an extension, not if. They think highly of him. They stuck by him through his ruptured Achilles as a rookie. He played really good football for them. I think he's got plenty of years left in the tank, and I think they will reflect that. He will get paid, maybe even before the season, maybe before training camp. This is a big thing, man. You already lost Miles. They are thinking longer term about this team's future. They are thinking about keeping fans interested enough to get to the point where they're competitive again because they have a stadium to sell in 2029. There's a specific kind of tension that happens when a player knows their worth, but the front office starts playing games with the numbers. Grant Delpit is that player. He's currently sitting on a 3-year, $36 million deal, but the reality behind those numbers is a lot uglier than the headlines suggest. He's in the final year of that contract. And word behind the scenes is that he's far from happy. Imagine being a top-tier safety, the guy who survived a ruptured Achilles and came back stronger, only to find out your team has pushed $16 million of your value into void years. No player likes going into a brutal NFL season without security. And at 27 years old, Delpit knows this is his prime. If the Browns don't move fast, they aren't just losing a safety, they're losing the soul of their secondary. But why the hesitation? Some insiders are suggesting the Browns are leaning toward an extension. But the when is much more important than the if. Mary Kay Cat has been hinting that this could happen before training camp. I really don't know 100% what they might know to be true or not. Do I think people are calling Andrew Berry and inquiring? Yes. Do I think the Browns are actively shopping Sanders and entertaining even the ideology of it? No, I don't at all. The second part of it though, I think me and you are lockstep on as well. This idea that Shedeur Sanders can't be a backup quarterback on a Cleveland Browns roster if he was not to win a starting job, I think is absolutely crazy. The Cleveland Browns are currently standing on the edge of a cliff, and the people in charge, Andrew Berry and Todd Monken, are holding all the weight. Something is shifting in that locker room, and it's not the kind of change that fans are going to find easy to swallow. We're talking about a veteran player, a pillar of the defense, who might be looking at the exit signs sooner than anyone expected. If you thought the drama in Cleveland was over after the last few seasons of chaos, you were dead wrong. The cracks are starting to show, and it all starts with a massive $36 million question mark that's hanging over the entire organization. Every day that passes without a signature is a day that the locker room gets a little more toxic. You have to remember this is a team that has already faced questions about Myles Garrett's future. You cannot afford to let key defensive pieces walk away when your offense is still a giant question mark. Denzel Ward and the rest of the crew need that stability, but money has a way of making people forget about loyalty. If you think the defensive side is the only place where the fire is spreading, you haven't been paying attention to the quarterback room. But look at the context. The quarterback competition in Cleveland is becoming a pressure cooker. Andrew Berry and Todd Monken are seeing night and day differences in the work ethic this offseason. But is it enough to save a sinking ship? The real problem isn't just the talent on the field. It's the shadow of the man under center. Deshaun Watson is now permanently associated with what many call the worst trade in the history of the sport. The fan base in Cleveland is exhausted. They look at Watson and they don't see a franchise savior. They see a mountain of controversial accusations and a contract that has handcuffed the team's future. There is a rumor circulating right now that sounds like absolute madness, yet it refuses to go away. People are talking about a potential trade involving Shedeur Sanders. Now, let's be clear, the media is calling this nonsense, but in the NFL, where there's smoke, there is almost always a back alley deal being discussed. The idea that the Browns would even entertain shopping a high-potential talent like him, while Deshaun Watson is still struggling to regain his form, is enough to make any fan's head spin. This is why the Shedeur Sanders rumors have so much legs. He represents the unknown. He's the spark of hope that people can actually get excited about. If the Browns were to actually move him, they wouldn't just be trading a player, they'd be trading away the last bit of PR gold they have left. Think about it from a marketing perspective. The Browns are trying to sell a dream. They have a massive stadium project coming up in 2029. You can't sell luxury suites and season tickets if the fans despise the face of the franchise. They need someone they can market, someone who hasn't been dragged through the mud for years. The Browns are trapped between two worlds. On one hand, they have a defense that can compete. On the other, they have an offense that is a bloated, expensive mess. The Shedeur situation is just a symptom of a much larger disease. Whether it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson or a hypothetical trade, the fact remains that the Browns are terrified of a future where Watson isn't the guy. They've invested too much to admit they were wrong. So they'll keep trying to appease the veterans with late extensions, and they'll keep trying to quiet the rumors about the young guns, but the clock is ticking. You can only ignore a player's demand for security for so long before they start looking at other jerseys. If Grant Delpit doesn't get that extension before the first whistle of training camp, the narrative is going to shift from loyalty to betrayal very quickly. The Browns are trying to build a dynasty on a foundation of sand. And the tide is coming in fast. What happens next won't just define the season. It will determine if the Cleveland Browns even have a future worth watching by the time that new stadium opens its doors. In the end, this isn't just about football, it's about the survival of a brand. The question isn't whether change is coming to Cleveland, it's whether there will be anything left once the smoke finally clears. The decisions made in the next few weeks regarding Grant Delpit and the quarterback room will echo for years. Are we watching the birth of a new era or the final desperate gasps of a front office that knows the end is near? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The world is watching, and the Browns are running out of places to hide.